across the ocean, went up and kicked me. Straight in the spot where you do not want to be kicked. So, I drowned in the All right, I'm going to talk to you really quick about expectations, so you got to stay with me here. When I was a kid, I had an awesome father. His name was Mike. And Mike would always tell me, hey, you can be whatever you want to be, and whatever you expect to happen will be your reality. So he taught me from a young age that if you expect it, more than likely it will come true. And so he's like, what do you want to be? He's like, you want to be a doctor? I'm like, no, I'm not really feeling a doctor. He's like, you want to be a lawyer? I'm like, nah, I don't really want to be a lawyer. He's like, what about a teacher? I'm like, nah, I seriously don't want to be a teacher. He's like, well, what do you want to be? And I said, Big Bird. I want to be Big Bird. And my dad said, hey, if you really want to be Big Bird, then you need to expect to become Big Bird. And so every night I would go to bed thinking the next morning I was going to wake up and be Big Bird. Needless to say, my expectations weren't really attached to anything. My mother passed away when I was a little kid. She actually died when I was 7 years old. I really have no memory of my mother at all. And so I didn't really have this idea of what a husband should be. And now it's time for me to get married. I'm in college. I meet this smoking hot woman. She's a blonde. I mean, she was the bomb diggity. You know what I'm saying? She's actually right there. You know, so I got to go, honey, I love you, boo. What's up, girl? But I didn't really know what it was supposed to be like to be a husband, because when I was growing up, all I had was like the TV. And so I shaped my expectations of what a husband was supposed to be like off a guy named Victor and a guy named Al Bundy. Now, Victor was the main character of The Young and the Restless, which was a soap opera that me and my dad watched every day. And Victor, the guy on the left, was a ladies' man. He was suave. You know, he walked into the room and the ladies started fanning themselves. Like, whoo, here comes Victor. There was some like music playing. Victor comes strolling in. And like the ladies were just like, and I really thought like that was my expectation. Al Bundy, the guy on the right, he just did whatever he wanted to do. Like if he wanted to come home, sit on the couch, he came home, sit on the couch. His wife said, hey, could you do the dishes? Al Bundy was like, no, how about you do the dishes? You know? And so my expectations of what a husband was supposed to be was based off of these two guys. So me and my wife get married. I remember coming home from work the first day, walking in the room. I'm expecting, and my wife would be sitting like this. Oh, John. I walk in. She's like, ooh. You need to take a shower and do the dishes and mow the yard. I'm like, how about you do the dishes and you mow the yard? My expectations of what a husband was supposed to be wasn't attached to anything really real. Then it comes time for me to have a kid. Like, I don't know if you know this or not, but I've never had a kid before. You know, I didn't really know what to expect. Somebody gave me a book. It's called What to Expect When You're Expecting. And on the, I don't really read, so I didn't really read the book. I'm like, oh, thanks for the book. Stupid book, but thanks for the book. But on the front cover, there's this picture, and it's this husband and his wife, and they're holding this beautiful baby. And the baby was so beautiful. I'm like, man, I want to have one of them kind of babies. Beautiful babies. And so it comes time to have our first child. His name is Mitchell. And I'm like, I'm expecting Mitchell to look like this baby that's on the front of the book. This baby was beautiful. Mitchell, the doctor holds Mitchell up. He's like a shade of purple and like comb head and like stuff all over him. I got a picture from when he was born. Hit the head. Like here he is. Like what I expected. All summer long, I was like, God, like you mean something. Like, I really believe like what you expect this school year to be is what the reality is going to be for your life. And I was like, God, I need something that I can talk to them about and they will remember for the rest of their lives. that this will make sense and that their expectations will be aligned with what your promises are. And God gave me a miracle during the summer called the slingshot. In Panama City, Florida, the redneck Riviera. Now, what happens is that they strap you into this mechanism that's attached to these two huge rubber bands. They say, hot, ready, go, boom, they shoot. Like, she loves this kind of stuff. My son, however, on the right, has no clue what to expect. He just wants a t-shirt. He's like, Dad, can we ride that ride? I need the t-shirt. I'm like, you understand what you're about to do? He's like, I don't really care what I'm about to do. I need the t-shirt. So he has no clue what to expect. He has no desire to go fast. He has no desire to go high. So what you have on the left is someone with their expectations aligned with reality, and someone on the right whose expectations just aren't right. That's going to get complicated. You hate it, right? All right, first thing I need you to do is hit the area. Okay, perfect. Now, you need to take your finger, and there's that little thing in my body down there called the finger pad. See what I'm saying? Take your finger and put it on the finger pad. Now you can move it around and see the area process, right? So, oh, yeah, see that little play button. Oh, shoot. This is going to be like, hey, can I go to Mountain View? All right, in order for this to work, you got to be really quiet. And what I want you to do is this. I want you to watch the person on the left who knows what to expect, and the person on the right who doesn't really have. Hey, you like make that play? You know how to do that? Yeah, right there. Oh, person on the left, expectations aligned. The person on the right, no expectations. My favorite Bible story is this, is that it happens in 1 Kings 18. There's this dude named Elijah. Elijah's going up on top of this mountain because there are some what they call false prophets who think that their God's better than Elijah's God. Elijah's like, go ahead, let's just settle it. Let's have a showdown on top of the mountain. So they go up on top of the mountain, and basically what's going to happen is they're going to build an altar. Elijah's going to build an altar. Elijah's going to pray to his God. They're going to pray to their God, and we're going to see what happens. Now, Elijah had his expectations solely based on the promises of God. Like, God promised Elijah, you're going to be the dude. Like, you're going to be the savage. Like, whatever you do, you're going to be the guy. And so he let the prophets go first. The prophets started praying in prayer. They started dancing around. Nothing happened. Elijah, being the savage that he is, says, hey, maybe you need to talk a little louder. Maybe your God's taking a nap. Or maybe he's relieving himself. Maybe he's in the bathroom taking a leak. You need to talk a little bit louder. And of course they do, and nothing happens. Then it's Elijah's turn. Elijah builds his altar. But that's not enough. He digs a trench. He finds water. He pours it. He douses it with water. Water fills up the trench. He prays a 2-sentence prayer. And God rains fire from heaven. Destroys everything. Destroys the prophets. Destroys the altar. Burns it up like one of the most amazing miracles of his time. And it's all because Elijah had enough faith and enough expectation to pray for something that wasn't really normal. But it didn't stop there. The king was there. Elijah says, hey, you need to get in the chariots and you need to go tell the queen what's up because God is real. So the king gets in the chariot. Elijah decides that he wants to catch up with the king. He doesn't have a chariot, so he tucks his robe into his belt and he takes off sprinting down the road, he actually summons up some supernatural speed, some like Ethan Curry type speed. Not really, but you know what I'm saying? He gets down, he beats the chariots down. Once again, he had his expectations, like God had promised him, hey, you're going to do amazing things. And Elijah believed it. Then the queen found out. And the queen was a little upset. And the queen wrote a letter. I'll paraphrase the letter. Dear Elijah, come. I do not love what you did to my prophets! Exclamation point. I'm going to kill you dead. Ellipsis. That's like those 3 dots, like the story continues, dot, dot, dot. Sincerely, the queen. Hashtag slay all day. Hashtag you better run, sucker. You know? Now Elijah, this mighty man of God, all of a sudden gets this letter from the queen. And now all of a sudden he forgets everything that he was promised. And in fact, he starts praying to God, hey, I would just rather you end it all. Like I'm scared, I'm fearful. He goes and hides, and he's ready for it all to end. The once mighty man of God is now all of a sudden hiding and is cowering away. And the only thing that changed was his expectation. Now, why does this matter to you? At some point, you have to ask yourself, like, what are you expecting? Like, what are you expecting from other people? Like, do you wake up every morning excited to be with others? Do you wake up every morning believe that what it says in Ephesians, that you are God's masterpiece? Well, guess what? So is the person sitting next to you. In fact, look at the person next to you and say, hey, you're a masterpiece. But the question is, Jordan, do you really believe it? Do you really believe it? Do you really expect God to use other people to make your life better? Can I just tell you, that's what he promised? He promised that you would be in a place surrounded by people with the same beliefs, surrounded by people with the same passion, and together you would change the world. But what's your expectation of this place? Is your expectation of this place just somewhere you have to come? Somewhere you have to go? This is the school I have to come to. This is what I have to do. Or is your expectation is that like God has divinely aligned you, Cameron? Divinely aligned you to be here. Divinely put you in this place so that you can make a difference. Like I truly believe, like you are the hope of the world. Like Zoe Lawrence, you are the hope of the world. Why do I believe that? Because the Bible tells me that. What's the Bible? A book of God's promises. It's that you were created for something more, abundantly more than you could possibly ever imagine, Adrian. Like you were made for so much more, but you have to expect it. You have to wake up in the morning and say, no, this isn't just a place I have to come to. This is a place I get to come to. These aren't people I have to do life with. These are people that God has divinely appointed me to do life with. And what's your expectations of God? Can God really change your life? Or is God just irrelevant? I'm going to tell you the story. I'll leave you the story. I'm going to go long. It's okay. This is better than whatever y'all got to go to. I taught in a place called Schaefer Middle School. It's an inner city school. It's a little bit different than this place. It is a little bit like you were going to have fights in the lunchroom. And it was just kids from a different place, different families. And so there was this one girl, and her name is Sierra. I was coaching middle school girls basketball. Her name was Sierra. Sierra's story goes like this. Sierra didn't know her father. She just didn't know her father. Her mother did the best she could, but one day she shows up when Sierra was 4 years old, and her mother was actually murdered by the man that she was seeing at the time. Sierra, at 4 years old, actually stayed in a house with her mother, whom was dead, for a week before anybody noticed. It's crazy stuff. So Sierra bounced from foster home to foster home. She finally ended up with an elderly woman who loved her. But that elderly woman couldn't handle her. So she left her. At 8-year-old, Sierra was just left in the front of a grocery store. Luckily, there was another lady that scooped Sierra up and helped her. So she shows up to middle school, and how I met Sierra is this. It's like I'm coaching girls basketball, and Sierra has a caseworker, which is like a parole officer. And the parole officer comes, she's like, hey, I think Sierra would be great for your basketball team. And I'm like, I don't know. She's like, well, listen, we think that she would do well if she was with other people, and it was a team, like team atmosphere. And I'm like, okay, we'll give it a shot. And I'm like, Sierra. She said, what's up, Coach Cracker? She called me Coach Cracker. I'm like, hey, why don't you get down here and play some defense? She's like, what's defense? I'm like, you try to keep those girls from scoring in this basket. She's like, no problem. Like she emptied her pocket, she had like a knife. And like the white girls wouldn't even cross half court. Like they didn't any part of Sierra. And here's the deal. Here's the deal. I truly expected God to change Sierra's life that year. Like I didn't just say it to make her feel well, like I expected. Like I expected God to use the place that we were at, the people that we were around, and I expected God to do what only God could do and change Sierra's life. Now, fast forward to the second half of the year, there's this thing called Teacher Appreciation Week. And like y'all bring cool gifts like Starbucks gift cards and like little pastries wrapped up. Like if you were at Schaefer and somebody brought you a pastry, you didn't eat it. It either had cyanide or marijuana in it, you know what I'm saying? You're either gonna die or you're gonna get high. So you're like, exactly, like, around this thing, I'll eat it later. You never ate it. Sierra comes up to me and she hands me this. She hands me this. Have you ever seen this? Watch, just watch. She hands me this, she hands me this. And I'm like, what is this? She's like, it's a blue ball holder. I'm like, cool, like I've always wanted like a plastic, like bouncy ball holder. Sierra, you shouldn't have. She's like, well, there's a story to it. I'm like, okay, Sierra, what's the story? She said, when I showed up here this week, she said, when I showed up here this year, like somebody had taken my hope. Like in the world had like stolen my hope. And she said, can you put that in your pocket? I put it in my pocket. She's like, so every day I would wake up and I would be empty. Every day I would wake up and I would come to school and I didn't want to be here and I certainly didn't want to be around people and I didn't want to be around you. Because every time in my life that I got close to somebody, they would end up leaving me. And I had no hope. She said, but then I met you. And she said, you refused to give up on me. You refused to leave me. You had expectations for me that I couldn't even imagine. And now, the thing that was once missing is back. The thing that was once missing. So the thing that was gone because one person had expectations beyond anything she could possibly believe, was back. Sierra today, this is the coolest part. Sierra today is a mother. Sierra today is married. Sierra today has a job of her own. She has a car of her own. Sierra today has 2 children. This is the best part. 2 children that were in the same foster home that she was in when she was 11 years old. Same foster home. So don't you tell me that one person with their expectations set on what God has promised you can't make a difference. It can't change your world. And I often think about, like, what would this place be like? What would this place be like if every morning we decided to do that? If 6th, 7th, and 8th grade decided today, I'm going to expect, one, that I can be a blessing to someone else. That I can show kindness and love to everyone that I encounter. Because it's so much easier to be mean. But I can choose to show love. And what if I expect this place to be like the city on the hill, the light of the world, like God promised it would be? And what if I expect God to show up and do the things that only God can do? This would be a pretty great place. It would be a place where lives would be changed. That's the kind of place I want to be a part of. That's the kind of place I want you to experience. That's the kind of place that I believe that God has called people like me and people like you to be. You are the hope of the world. You are. You are going to change lives. You'll look back, and there'll be so many lives that you've changed. All because you choose to expect something more. But it is what it is. It's not. It's not. It's just another day in paradise. Expect God to do something today. And expect Him to use you. Let me pray for you. God, I thank you for today. I thank you for Victor and Al Bundy. God, I'm still a little upset that I didn't become Big Bird, but that's cool. Thank you for the slingshot and my son's terrified face. Because it taught me a lesson. It taught me to set my expectations on the things that I know to be true. Not the things the world tells me to be true, but to set my expectations on the things that you tell me to be true. And you tell me that, God, I am your masterpiece. God, that you have gifted us, God, that we are the hope of the world and we can expect abundantly more in this place today. And so let us leave here today with that expectation, God, that you're going to do things that only you can do and you're going to use us to do it, God. You have divinely appointed everyone to be here. God, from Mr. Shirley to the teachers to us, God. Like, your plan is so much cooler than our plan, and you have brought us here together for a reason, and that reason is to be the hope of the world. And so, God, allow us to be that today. Allow us to see you today. Allow us to fall in love with you today. And God, we do it all in your name. Everybody says, Amen.